Hello everybody, and welcome back to the E-Train Talks podcast. And in today's episode, I'm going to be reviewing Letters from Cuba by Ruth Behar. Letters from Cuba is a historical fiction novel that takes place in late 1930s Cuba. The main character is Esther, an 11-year-old Jewish and Polish girl. She lives with her bubby, mom, and siblings in Poland, and her family is going through a difficult time. Because Esther's family were Jews, the government shut down their business, and their only way of supporting themselves was from receiving money from Esther's father. Esther's father moved to Cuba for a better life after the family business was shut down. Esther soon learns that her father has saved enough money to bring one of his children to Cuba to live with him. Originally, the lucky child was going to be the oldest boy of the siblings, but Esther managed to persuade her father into allowing her to go to Cuba. Hooray! Esther is soon off to Cuba, but before leaving, she finds out she must pass a health inspection. Esther manages to pass the inspection and is then set sail on a ship across the Atlantic Ocean, headed to Cuba. Esther is forced to travel in baggage with other poor families. Esther meets many people Jewish like her. They share stories of how they ended up on the ship and why they had to leave their homes. During her journey, Esther writes every detail of her trip and endeavors in Cuba in a notebook for her sister. Finally, after over a month, the ship lands in Cuba, and Esther is soon greeted by her father at the harbor. What will come of Esther living on the other side of the world, thousands of miles from her mother and siblings? Read Letters from Cuba to find out. I loved how vividly Esther wrote about her life in Cuba in the journal. She wrote everything so thoroughly, and you can picture what she does in her new home in Cuba. You can feel her emotions, and you can taste the sweet foods Esther tries. I also love the fact that many Cubans treated Esther and her dad fairly, even though they were Jews. Back in Poland, Esther and her father were ridiculed because of their heritage, but now they can embrace their differences and not worry day in and day out about their home being stolen, losing their money, or worse. Many of the citizens of Cuba were from Africa, and they were forced into slavery, so they understood how Esther and her father felt. Discrimination and racial injustice were present in Esther's time and are unfortunately still present in today's world. Let Esther's story be a reminder that you shouldn't take for granted the friends and family who treat you the way you should be treated. I recommend this story to readers who are judged because of false stereotypes and because of some people's inability to see the beauty in you. This book can make you feel accepted and helps you know that there are people just like you out there. Always remember to have a support group, a group of friends or family that care about you. They helped Esther through some of her darkest times, through stress and anxiety about somebody knocking on her door, threatening her, just because she was a Jew. It can happen, but if you have the right group of people in your life, you can feel safe. You're not alone. And that's all, folks. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode of the E-Train Talks podcast, and I truly recommend Letters from Cuba. Bye.